Hello and welcome to today's show. My name is Yanni and it's great to have you with me. And today I am going to tell you and share with you what tactical operations are and how you and I can simplify it and apply it in our own lives, in your personal life, in your business, wherever you want to apply tactical operations. Now, it sounds very fancy, but it's not really. What tactical operations really are is just some planning that you've done beforehand, and now you're deploying the system or these things that you've planned. You're deploying it in the marketplace, or most of the time when we're talking about tactical operations or tactical planning, we are talking about, or we're thinking about the military, where you using these tactical operations on the battlefield when you go into battle. But if we really think about it, it's actually we going into a battle every single day. When we get up in the morning, there's things that you have to battle sometimes in your personal life, in your relationships, in your business, wherever. So that is why we're looking at this today, because it's very important for you and I. But before we go there, I think it's very important also to note that your tactical operations and your tactical planning actually has to be preceded by strategic operations. And if you do not know the why you are doing what you are doing, then it's going to be very hard for you. So once you know the why you are doing what you're doing, why you're getting up in the morning, for example, why do you have a family? Why do you look after your family? Because it's our obligation. If you the husband in the family, that is what you are basically obligated to do. You are supposed to look after your family, to look after your family's financial needs, after their well-being, after their protection as well. So these are things that you and I, that we need to look at. But if we don't know why we're doing things, then we're just going on. We're just floating, really. And that's not the way that we should live. We should live intentionally. And some of these phrases and these words that I'm sharing with you today, I'm doing it intentionally because it's so crucial that we know why we are doing things, and then also we need to learn how to do things in the best possible way, in the most efficient and the best way possible, always with the emphasis on excellence. Whenever we put something out, we want it to be the best that we can muster. Yes, there's always people that might do things better, but it's okay. Don't compare with them, but just do the best that you can. Use the equipment and the stuff that you have. Use it to the best of your ability, and make sure that when you put something out, that it's the best, that it is really, that it's excellence that goes out there, because that's what draws people, and that's what attracts people. When you speak to people, when you your customer service, for example, if you are really want excellence in your life as far as that is concerned, then you'll also see how people are being drawn to you more and more, because they begin to trust you. They know when you speak to them and you bring something to the table, that they can trust you, that they can actually sort of take hands with you and do business with you, and use some of your products, use some of your services. That's very important. But now I've talked a lot, so let's just look at what a strategic operations or strategic planning really looks like. Now, strategic planning is basically, in very simple terms, it's like a blueprint. It's, let me read this to you. It's of great importance, especially to the future or outcome of something. That's why you need to have a strategy. And that's why it's crucial that your strategy is compliant and that it's in line with your why. Now, the word strategy, where it actually comes from, it's from the Greek word meaning generalship. Now, that was interesting to me when I saw that, because in again, military operations, it's usually the generals or the top generals. They are the guys who do the strategic planning and putting everything strategically in place. And from there, it then drills down. And that's where we start getting to the implementation of everything in the tactical operations. And the strategic operations is also like a method worked out in advance for achieving some object or objective. That's why I'm saying it's very important that you know the why you if we can really go back, it's really the why you were born. What is your purpose in life? What purpose do you have to fulfill? Because like I said to you before, it's very important that you know what your purpose is and that you fulfill your purpose. Because if you don't, I lose out and millions of other people lose out, because it's like a void. There's something that's missing throughout if you do not bring to the table and bring to the world what you have been born for. It's actually really crucial. And if you just think about it, your fingerprints are 100% unique. Your DNA is 100% unique. And that is how unique you are. But that gift that you have and that purpose that you have is also 100% unique. If I can take my fingers, for example, they look similar and they've got similar functions. But take one of them away, then the functionality of my hand is not as it's supposed to be, as it was made, as it was created for. And that is why that is so important. Now, a few synonyms for a strategy. Like I already said, it's like a blueprint. It's like a ground plan or like a map or a road map, but it's also like a system. When you put a system in place in your home, in your business, when you put that system in place so that everything can run smoothly, that's really what a strategy is. And that's why the strategic planning is so important. Remember, we said we're going to really look at the tactical operations first. Now, tactical, the word tactical, it comes from Latin, and the Latin word tactica, Tactica. Now, it's not important to remember that, but it's the meaning of that. It's the art or the skill of deploying troops in combat, for example. So this is, like I said, it's mainly used in military terms, and it's also being using the forces or employing the forces and employ them on the battlefield. That's what we're normally thinking about. But when we look at the thesaurus, it basically just says it's suitable for bringing about the desired result under the circumstances. Remember the why. If you know your why, then you can set up your strategy, and then you can go into the implementation of what you have there. So your strategy is like the blueprint of a home, for example. You have everything there. So you on that blueprint, you've got the walls drawn in, and you've got everything where it's supposed to go, the structure of the house. But on that blueprint, you don't have all the furniture, you don't have all the appliances and stuff, although you know where the appliances are going to go, or the architect or the draftsperson can give you a rendering, a 3D rendering or something like that to show what the finished product is going to look like. But the blueprint is just that. It's to get the building up. And from there, we go to the tactical operations. Now you have to go and plan the building material that you're going to need, the quantities, where you're going to source it from, how you're going to acquire it, how you're going to pay for it. Do you have the cash to pay for it? Do you have to go and source funds to do that? So all those things comes in the tactical operations. And I'm just going to share this story with you. It's kind of relevant. Recently, the one night, I was busy in the one room, and my wife was on her way to the bathroom just to go and brush her teeth just before we went to bed, and I heard this outcry. And I think you will know when you hear that cry or that like scream, now you have to run. Something is up. So I just left everything and I ran, and there was in this room. She just turned on the light, and in this room there were flying insects all over the place, hundreds of them, and fairly big things. They probably probably about inch and a half, which is that like 30 millimeters approximately. So it's big things. And we didn't really know what it is. So first of all, I thought maybe she left the bathroom window open, and in the bathroom there's no screen in front of the window. So I thought maybe she left the window open so that some of these insects can come in. And that's the first thing that I asked her. But then I realized, no, the window is closed and these things come from somewhere else. And what eventually happened, these insects came from some crack in the floor of the building. And it's actually ants. I think they call them alates. It's the female ant, and when it rains a lot, then they come out of the nest, and then they go and spread this colony, and they start new colonies all over the show. But now they're on the inside of the house, so they want to spread. They can't get out, so they're just flying around and around and around, and it was not a nice sight. Now, why am I telling this to you? Because immediately when we identified what's going on and where they're coming from, we could start putting something in place. Now, number one, we work together as a team. Judy and I, we work together as a team. So I was there to help her, and she was there to help me. And we had to locate where the issue is. And that's almost like we've got the strategy to let our house run smoothly, but now something comes up. There's a circumstance that arose immediately. So we had to identify where these insects are coming from. So, like I said, they eventually, and it was inside a closet, so really underneath the floor of the closet. So I had to open up some of the boards on the skirting boards on the floor to locate where these insects are coming from. And there were thousands of them. And I'm not exaggerating. There were loads of them. So we don't really keep poison in the house. So I didn't even have anything to spray them with. So anyway, so then I applied certain measures. And what we realized afterwards, it's the same as what I just explained to you. So you've got the strategic operations. So to set the basis for everything, like the ground plan, the blueprint, so that everything can run smoothly. But now something rocks up, and we have to jump into this situation, and tactically we have to implement a whole bunch of stuff. We have to make decisions. And we had to make a decision, what are we going to do? And first of all, we had to locate where they're coming from, and then how we're going to deal with this. And so then we also realized as the time went on, it took us basically that night, for a period of that night, and we sort of closed off the door, we turned off the lights, until the next morning because it was already late in the night time. So the next morning we sort of continued. But then I realized we have to basically go in and deal with where the problem is coming from, with the source. We can't just treat the symptoms like we many times do. So we really had to get into there. And because it's in the house, and then we found out it must have been there for a long time. We've never seen it. We've been in this house almost 3 years now, and we've never seen even an ant. And so it was really a surprise to us. And then we realized we have to destroy the source where these things are coming from, because otherwise we're going to continually have these issues with these insects. And I'm just sharing that incident with you because that's the same with your business or with your family life. When you have everything in place, you have your systems in place, and you know what you need to do, and something rocks up, then you know, okay, but this is the avenues that I need to take, and this is how I'm going to deal with this crisis or with this situation that emerged. And that is really what tactical operations are. It's really to deal with something in a planned way, even if you didn't know, we didn't know the situation is going to rock up, but we had a plan in place how we operate, because we know we have to locate the source and then deal with the source. And eventually we did. We had to go and deal with the source right on the inside. And although I don't like destroying animals, I love nature, but we had to deal with this, and we really had to solve this problem. And that is just to explain to you what strategic planning, strategic operations, and then also your tactical operations, what that looks like with this little bit of an example. So you can use these principles. You can use it in your own life. You can use it, like I said, in your business, in corporate life, wherever you move on a day-to-day basis. So I trust that this helped you today. Take these principles and apply it, but know your why. From your why, set up your strategy, do your strategic planning so that you can get your strategic operations in place. And from there, then do your tactical planning and put your plans and your systems in place. It's very important, these systems, because when the systems are in place, then everything can run smoothly. I trust this was helpful to you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening to me. I'm looking forward to chatting with you next time. Have an awesome day.